take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in with your boy Kings and Dreams. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Man, I got my man Tripping with Jay. I was actually a guest on his channel a few months back. So definitely make sure that you check out that video. And I actually think I actually reposted that live stream on my channel. So definitely make sure that you do check it out. We're going to be talking different aspects of traveling, the culture, all of that, man. So I'm very excited for this conversation. Another thing that we're doing, I'm starting it's On the Table series. So Jay's actually the first test pilot of this On the Table series. So definitely salute to my man Tripping with Jay. Also, you know where you can find me, follow me. Instagram, Kings and Dreams. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell as well. Also, I am on Discord, so the link is in the description below. So definitely make sure that you check that out. I am also on TikTok, so definitely make sure you check me out on that. And I have a private Facebook group. Check me out on that. So your boy is building, man. So follow me on all platforms and donate to the channel. As you can see, you see the Cash App scrolling, right there at the bottom of your screen. Also Venmo, and you can also send in a super chat. So definitely appreciate y'all rocking with me. So without further ado, definitely want to bring my man Tripping with Jay on. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Kings and Dreams, my guy. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm very excited to have you on. Congratulations, man. I you hit the 5K subs, and I think you on your way to 6K, man. So,
yeah, very close, man.
Yeah, so just keep grinding, keep pushing, brother. I'm very excited for you, man. So why don't you tell the people about yourself and your channel and so forth,
Of course. So my main base is here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And my real life outside of YouTube, I am a licensed real estate agent or realtor. So if you're looking to buy a house out here in Las Vegas, hit me up and LasVegasJ.com. And besides doing the real estate stuff, I love doing YouTube. I love meeting new people, collabing. And my channel is Tripping with Jay. So it's mainly about doing travel reaction videos to other YouTubers and just displaying and showing other people what other parts of the world looks like. If they weren't able to really see it themselves, they can look at my channel, see me react to it, and also be exposed to different content creators as well. So yeah, that's definitely everything about me so far, my guy. Ready to do this interview, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely. So let me just keep you right there, Jay. What inspired you to start your channel?
Yeah, so what really inspired me, man, is I took my first trip internationally. It was to Japan, right? So I went to Japan. That was my first international trip. I took the girl I was dating at the time. I took her with me. And that being my first time out of the country, it was culture shock. I was like, these people, I don't see any people with some melanin over here. And I was treated extremely well. So the customer service over in Japan was top notch. You would go to like a local McDonald's, and the burgers and stuff that you see on like the screens, that's the actual quality and look of the food that you actually receive. and just being treated so well, seeing all of the beautiful monuments like the Tokyo Sky Tree, riding the train for the first time, and hearing nothing but Japanese being spoken, it really took me outside of my comfort zone. And I ended up liking it, man, because I love the Japanese culture. I watch anime sometimes. So just being immersed in a different culture outside of the US, it really just lit a light bulb in my mind. I'm like, I want more of this. I want more of it like now. And after that, man, I went to Thailand, I went to Europe, and I just couldn't get enough of it. So I was like, what if I just start documenting this stuff on YouTube? And, you know, from there, I changed my channel's name from Las Vegas Jay to Tripping with Jay, just to be more focused on travel. And that's where I started. And I've been running it up ever since, man. Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so you mentioned that you went to Japan.
Yeah.
Like, so usually people will kind of go like Mexico, or you just went way over. I mean, like what gave you the gumption to do that? To just
Listen. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
So I have recently discovered a website called either Travel Pirates or secretflying.com.
Yeah.
And they had a sale for a flight from LAX to Tokyo, Japan for $330.
Oh wow.
And it was round trip. And
What?
I text my girl at the time. I was like, yo, like we need to book this right now. Like I was at work. I was at my retail job, and I talked to my manager. I'm like, hey, I need these days off like now. Because I knew the sale wasn't gonna last too long. I'm like,
Right.
LAX to Tokyo for $330. And it wasn't with like a low budget airline, it was with Japan Airlines.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I gotta go. Even though I haven't never been on a flight this long before.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just load up my phone with movies and bring my iPad and all that stuff to keep me entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, let's just go. I know Mexico is right next door. Canada's right there. Let's go to Tokyo. It's cheaper to go to Tokyo than it is to go to Mexico. Let's go.
Right, absolutely. And you know, what year was this when this happened?
Ooh, I think this was probably 2014 or 2015. It was right when I kind of moved. I just moved to Vegas, maybe like a year or two into living here in Vegas from Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 2014, 2015, you saw round trip tickets to Japan for $330. Wow. So you and your girl at the time went to Japan for less than $1,000. Man, that is amazing. And man, and you're smart. Like you told your boss, he was like, I see this commercial. Well, you probably didn't say you saw the commercial, but he was like, hey, listen, I need these days off ASAP. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha,
And he
gotcha.
was like, let me see what I can do. And he did it, man. And I booked the ticket same day, both
Yeah.
of us. So yeah.
Gotcha. You know, and so what was actually before I get there,
Yeah.
so let me go back. What were your favorite countries to visit and why?
Yes. So my favorite country that I can really think off the top of my head is definitely Thailand.
Okay.
So Thailand is one of my favorite countries to visit, not only because of the exchange rate with the dollar and the Thai baht, but also because of the people. The people were extremely nice. I wasn't single at that time, so I really wasn't able to explore like the serious nightlife that you know other YouTubers may present on their channels. But while I was there, I had some of the best seafood I've ever had in my life, and it was only like $1.50 on the street at the time. And the reason why I really love Thailand as well is just a combo of all of that: the people treating you well, the food, the currency exchange, and just knowing that. And this is before like the YouTube like space kind of blew up with people moving to Thailand. This was like way back, and there wasn't really many of us out there, so I didn't see many of us. So, but now that I see a lot of us are moving out there, it's a really enticing destination to not only look to visit, but it may be an option to possibly live out there in the near future.
Gotcha. And what parts of Thailand did you go to?
Yeah, I went to Bangkok, and we took a flight to Phuket as well, because we thought we didn't know what distance was. You know, we thought like Bangkok and Phuket were like this close, but we looked at it. We were like, no, we got to book a flight. And we were like, yeah, let's go to Phuket, see how that vibe is. And Phuket was definitely an entirely different vibe than Bangkok. Bangkok is more of a huge city vibe, and then Phuket is more of like a slower type of vibe, but it still had a walking street. So we still kind of went there, you know, drank a little bit at the bars and had fun. But you can have your entirely your own different vibe in either part of each of the cities.
Okay.
And honestly, at that time, I didn't know about Pattaya or Pattaya. So I didn't even know that existed at the time until I started watching Zoom to Thailand. And I'm like, yo, why didn't I go to Pattaya when I was out there? Like, yeah, so I got to redo Thailand, man.
I feel you, man. And shout out to Zoom to Thailand. You know, definitely. And so how many countries have you been to?
Ooh, man. Listen, I got my passport right here, man. I'm gonna count real quick.
Oh, hold on. You know, I gotta be big again for that one.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think with Japan on my old passport, probably 12 to 13 countries in total.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been to 12 total, and you've been to 12 total, man. Okay. Perfect, man. Yeah, you got he got the stamps, he got the receipts. He actually got the receipts, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Thailand, what was your favorite country? Do you have a country that was your least favorite, and why?
Yes. So this country has been coming up in a lot of the YouTubers channels like Razor Rays lately. Shout out to Razor Rays. It's Colombia, man. Colombia.
Oh, no!
I'm sorry. Like Kings and Dreams, TMD. You know, those guys that may own some property out there and go out there a lot.
No, TaylorMade is Dominican, Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Colombia guys, it's myself, Jay Clyde, Andre Love Crossing Borders, Learn Crypto TV, Ulysses the Traveler, trying to think. So you know what I mean? But okay, well, explain why Colombia is your least favorite.
So listen, I went out there with a travel group called Urban Travel, which is owned by a couple of my buddies, and we went to Cartagena, the wall city. So we were at our villa chilling, you know, smoking hookah, drinking a little bit, and we hear a knock on the door, and it's I think it's the police. The guy said it's the police outside, and I was like, okay, cool. We don't have any drugs in here. Like, we cool. At least I don't have any drugs on me. And they were like, the police ended up being corrupt, right?
Oh boy.
And
so it was a shakedown.
Exactly. So the police were like, hey, if you don't give us X amount of dollars or X amount of what did they use out there? What's the currency? Is pesos. If you don't give us X amount of pesos, we're going to search each and every single room in this villa. And if we find any drugs or anything, everybody in here is going to jail. So our guy came back. He was like, hey, I need X amount of money from everybody so we can pay off these cops to leave us alone. And I was like, and at that time I had been to like a dozen countries by then. I'm like, I've never had this happen before. Like, what's going on? Like, these are police. They're supposed to be protecting us.
Right.
And okay, we paid them off and they left us alone. But I'm like, I had never had that type of experience in my life. Even though that may have just been my singular anecdotal experience, it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth about Colombia, even though I love, you know, the people out there. But that was just my singular experience, and it appears to have gotten a little bit worse out there, according to Razor Rays and other folks out there reporting. But
Absolutely.
It just depends. You really have to know where you're going, where you're staying, and you have to know some people out there too. That's what I recommend. But yeah,
no, that's true. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, I've heard that there's like I myself even almost got into a shakedown. So I'll tell I'll say this story. I'm not sure if a lot of you have heard it, but so what ended up happening is that my girl at the time, we went to this restaurant, and this restaurant, so they only wanted pesos. They only wanted pesos. And I'm like, okay. So the ATM was like really like right next door. So I go to the ATM, and at the time, like everyone had to have their mask on, like even outside. So this day was pretty warm. So like I had pulled my mask down, and so the police officers, like they were like across the street. I'm not paying attention to them. So like, and I could see, because like an ATM, like it had like a glass window. So I look in the window, so I see them like approaching me. So I see them like going across the street, but like I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna mind their business. So they keep getting closer and closer. So I'm like, oh man, this is about to be a shakedown, right? Because I'm at the ATM. So they asked me for my identification. So I showed them my ID. And so one of the guys speaks pretty good English. So he's like, okay. So he's like, what is your job, James? And I'm like, he's trying to figure out like what I do, So this way, like he could go high or low, So I'm like, man. So I'm like, I'm a janitor, So I'm a janitor because I'm waiting because if I tell him exactly like what I do, he's gonna try to go for the jugular. Because and so anyway, so he's like, well, that you're not supposed to pull your mask down, right? Like that's a requirement unless you're eating or whatever, right? So thankfully, like the owner of the restaurant, like he could see, so he's like, no, he's just getting some money so that he could pay for his meal. So like, but he had my back. If he wasn't there, it was definitely going to be a shakedown. Because it was three of them, and how they did it, like they like surrounded me. So I'm like, oh man,
yep.
Yeah. So,
and they're not cheap, man. They see Americans, they're like, oh, he must be loaded. He must have some money on him. So,
right. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yep. Oof. And I was so. Now, where in Colombia did you go to?
Cartagena.
That's right. You said Cartagena.
Yeah,
my bad. Yeah. So you never been to Medellin yet, right?
No. Okay. I want to go to Medellin and Bogota because my cousin who works for an airline, he always travels over there. Yeah. And he says like that those two cities are probably better to hit as far as trying to meet people out there. So yeah, I definitely gotta revisit Colombia in a safer environment.
Yes. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. So where I was like I was in Poblado, and well this is before like Parque Lleras was like Parque Lleras like how it is now, but it was a really nice area. So like a lot of people like if they're going over there or near like Provenza, that's another nice area. Like typically people have money. Even the Colombians that go there have money. Right? So that shakedown was gonna be real. Yeah, it was about to get real for me, man. But thankfully, the owner looked out, so I gave the owner a nice tip, and I was like, "Man, thank you." And he was like, he gave me the head nod because he knew like it was about to go down, man.
Listen, have you ever been to Cali, Colombia?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've been out there quite a few times. Hung out with Andre, Love Crossing Borders. My homegirl Tours by D. You know what I mean? So I went to see the Statue of Christ, Cristo Rey. Did the Afro-Colombian tour. Yeah, man. Of course I've been to Cali.
Man,
went to the Salsa Club with Dre. Yes, absolutely, man. Cali, Colombia. Yeah. Now I have not been to Bogota yet, though. Haven't been to Bogota yet. That's on the horizon though. Bogota is definitely on the horizon. Yeah, man. But I'm sorry that Colombia was the worst country for you, and you got the shakedown, man.
Yeah, you really can't avoid stuff like that, especially when you're in a big group of Americans, and they know that it's a big group of Americans in a particular spot. So
right, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let me just jump in the chat before I continue the conversation. Greetings. I cannot read that word, but definitely salute to you, or name, sorry. Knowledge and relationships, my man M3 is in the building. Salute. Shout out to my man QB Passport flexing, tripping. Yep, Ecuador is the new spot. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, yeah, man. I saw QB. Shout out to QB. He had a video, with Ecuador, and I'm like, you know what? Like Ecuador was on the list, but it was kind of on the back burner. And so, like when one of your people put out a video and you move it up the list, so it's like, okay, yeah, right, yeah. Like Ecuador was like number 20, 25. And I'm like, okay, you made your way to like the top 15, 10, you know what I mean? So
yeah, shout out QB, man. His live streams be really lit, man.
Oh yes, yeah, man. Yes, absolutely, man. The one that he did on Saturday night was brutal.
Whew.
It was brutal. Man, I ain't gonna go too much into it, man. But extra pro salute to you, definitely. My man Lando was in the building. Salute Kings and Dreams. Let's see here. Oh, okay, you guys are talking to each other. Okay, all right. So let me get back to the conversation. Man, I'm really, really sorry about Colombia, bro. Really.
It's all good. I gotta go to Cali, man. So that's the next hit.
Yes, you do. You do got to go to Cali. All right. So, what are 2 to 3 like the most important things that you look for when you're traveling to a country?
Yes. So, man, the first thing is probably the currency exchange, or the exchange rate with the dollar compared to whatever local currency is in that country. Yeah. Like, because that's going to impact your quality of lodging or where you stay and the quality of it, and also the type of food that you're going to be consuming in that particular country. So going to a country like Switzerland, for instance, is super expensive as far as the conversion between the dollar and the Swiss franc. Yep. So you're going to be spending $30 for a burger out there compared to somewhere like Thailand or Cambodia, where the dollar exchange is a little bit better in your favor, and you can buy 30 cheeseburgers for like $1, which is cool. Right. The second thing, of course, is the weather by the time that I'm actually going to be traveling. So if I'm traveling to like a super hot and humid climate like the Philippines or Thailand, I like to go maybe towards the beginning of winter, like November, December, out there, just so I can kind of beat the heat and still enjoy myself out there. Because I know like when it's like peak summer, out in those countries, like it's almost unbearable. Like you walk outside, you feel the humidity, and you're like, oh, I gotta take another shower again. My shirt is drenched in sweat already. So I look at the weather, and also I mainly travel to see the sights of a particular country. So I look for the sites that can actually enrich my experience in that particular country. So if you go to Cancun or Riviera Maya in Mexico, you're going to go to Chichen Itza, right? So you want to see historical sites that you can actually enrich your human experience with. So I look for those top 3 things. Like, of course, if you want me to go into a fourth, it is, meeting nice young ladies out in different countries. But those are my top 3, bar none, non-negotiable, 100% of the time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now, are you more of a beach guy or more of a mainland guy?
Man, I gotta have some water. Man, because the place where I was living at in Mexico, in Merida, it's 20 to 25 minutes away from the beach, and there's a bus that takes you straight to the beach for like $1.50, and I would take that bus almost every weekend, just go to Progreso and hang out on the beach for like 3 or 4 hours just by myself, chilling. And that's the most calming and relaxing thing you can really do when you're in a foreign country is just find a beach, lay in the sand, chill. And that's the most beautiful thing you can ever do, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I say for me, I'm more of a mainland guy, but I don't mind if the beach is maybe like an hour or so away, But I like the mainland, I like the mainland, and then also with beach places. Typically, you get the humidity, as you mentioned, right? Like you come outside and then it's like, man, like I just took a shower and now I gotta take another shower. Especially living on the East Coast, like it's the humidity, man. And you go down south, like that humidity just hits you. So yeah, so like, cause I went out to Vegas. I went out to Vegas like three or four times. And every time, like, it's always been like right in the middle of the summer. It's been really hot, but it's dry heat, so it's like so like you don't get that humidity. Like the humidity is just worse, like, and it's just like, like when you come outside and you take a shower, you're like, man, I'm fresh, I'm feeling good, and the next thing you know, it's like your shirt is drenched. You like, yo, I look like I haven't bathed in days, man.
Hey, I mean, that's why I kind of chose to live out here rather than the East Coast, because I had a choice. But I was like, man, let me just get this dry heat and get it over with, and it feels a lot better than that humidity on the East and the South. So
right, yeah, no, absolutely, man, absolutely. Oh man, good stuff. Yeah. So, what would you say? Excuse me. What would you say? Like, is your ultimate goal to, like, is it to become an expat? And if so, what country or countries would you consider living in?
Yeah. So that's actually the end goal with my YouTube channel, is to kind of be a full-time YouTuber.
Yep.
And I do want to become an expat, like 100%, like within the next 3 to 5 years. That's the goal.
Okay.
The countries that I'm looking at to seriously relocate to is definitely Mexico. I have Mexican residency, and that to me is the easiest to kind of immigrate to legally without making a visa run every few months or whatever. Mm-hmm. I've also been looking at, of course, Thailand, and YouTubers like Time to Retire, those guys over there, they have really kind of shown me like you can really live in Thailand for $2 or $3 grand a month, and that's very comparable to what I can live on in Mexico as well. So I'm looking at it like this: the only differentiator that's going to make me really choose between the two is going to be language and also my social circle. Because I know a lot of Spanish. I don't know any Thai, but a lot of Thai people, they know multiple languages. They know Russian, they know English. Mm-hmm. So I would have to actually spend some significant time in Thailand to kind of give it a true comparison to Mexico before I finally make that decision. So yeah, it's between those two.
Okay, so between Thailand and Mexico.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, and so you said that you have your Mexican residency. Would you mind just like explaining how you were able to obtain it?
Yes. So there are a few ways to get Mexican residency, and the way that I did it was just proving that I make a certain amount of money per month, and they look at your bank statements, they look through everything of your finances. And once they verify that you make above the Mexican minimum wage, they give you like a sticker in your passport. I can actually show you guys the sticker that they give in your passport. It looks like this. And once you get that sticker in your passport, that is only 1/2 of the actual residency process. So once you have that sticker, you have to fly to Mexico within 6 months and go to an immigration office, is what they call an INM office. And you have to, again, fill out a whole bunch of documents. A lot of documents, a lot of them are in Spanish as well. So you have to open up your Google Translate and translate the application so you can fill it out properly. You have to go to the INM office. You have to, if they have any appointments, make an appointment. Or if they don't have appointments, you have to stand outside in that heat on a first come, first serve basis. You go into the office. I literally said nothing to the officer at the office because they didn't speak any English. They asked to take a picture of me. I waited for like 30 to 40 minutes for them to process my application. And they told me to come back and I can get my Mexican ID. And that was it. The real kind of painstaking process is filling out all the forms. And if you mess up on any bit of the form, you have to get a brand new one and start filling it out again, which was crazy to even think about. But I highly suggest using a service to help you on the Mexican side to kind of finish up the process, and they do all the hard work for you. And there's a company called Merida Moves with Barbara Blanco is who I'm going to be actually using when I renew my residency in May. And she has tons of positive reviews, and she has a few YouTubers that she's helped as well. So yeah, it's a cool process. So far, it's not as difficult as other countries. Like I looked in how Thailand does their visa process, and it's a little bit, you got to make visa runs essentially, perpetually. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the Mexico side.
Okay, so just a couple of quick questions for you. So you mentioned that you have to make above the Mexican minimum wage. What is the the minimum wage for Mexico? I'm sorry.
Ooh, so off the top of my head, I don't remember what it was. It's because when I actually got my residency, the minimum wage was a lot lower than it is right now because they recently knocked it up because the economy in Mexico is going so well, and then they see an influx of people from the US, the States, coming down there as well. So they raise all of that stuff. They raise all the fees to go down there. But I believe you have to make at least 50 or I think 40 or 50K a year. So that gives you what is that, like 2 or 3K a month?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So right around that range. But it honestly, this is the weird part, right? It depends on which office that you go to here in the States to get your passport sticker. So if you go to the immigration office or the Mexican consulate in LA, you're going to be like, yo, you need to make 5K a month in order to get approved. But if you go to one in McAllen, Texas, they may require $2,500 a month to be made and for you to show it in order to get approved. So you have to look around the US for specific Mexican consulates and see what the requirements are for the financials, and go to the one that fits your budget and how much you can actually prove that you make. That's the cheat code. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Man, Tripping with Jay just gave y'all some free game right there, man. Definitely make sure that y'all subscribe to this brother's channel. You can get your residency in Mexico, and also depending on where you go in the States, you can get your residency. So for states like New York, California, I wouldn't recommend going there because you're gonna have to make a lot. You're gonna have to make a lot of money. So let's say if you're between that 45 to 55 kind of average earner, which is cool, and no problem. So like what Tripping with Jay said, maybe go somewhere in Texas, or maybe go somewhere in like Louisiana,
Right.
But definitely do your homework. Don't try to go to a metropolitan city. Like, don't go to the consulate in Manhattan. Don't go in LA or San Francisco, because you're gonna have to make a lot of money, man. So
Yes.
definitely, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Because I think that what a lot of us in the travel community, want to become a permanent resident wherever we live, wherever we decide to relocate to. So it seems like with Mexico, as opposed to like Colombia is not necessarily that hard, but you do have to. I think you have to know. You have to be fluent in Spanish and for Colombia.
Oh,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you have to be fluent in Spanish in order to become a resident. So
well, that's great.
that yeah, and I believe in Brazil you have to be fluent in Portuguese. Yeah. So
Man.
yeah, so if people don't want to live in the United States and want to live in Mexico, you could become a resident. Now, another question. How long did it take for you to get the residency? And yeah, how long did it take for you to get the residency?
From like start to finish,
How long was the process?
so going to the consulate here in Vegas, it took me 2 or 3 trips because they told me like some forms were incorrect and I had to go back and correct them and then come back. So I would say, man, it took about 2 months because I had to fly to Mexico. I had to get time off from work to fly out to Mexico to go finalize it. And the waiting period between that getting that sticker on my passport and going to Mexico was about 30 days. So I would say a good month. But if you get the sticker in your passport and you have a flight the next week down to Mexico to finish it, then your time will be a week, obviously. But it just depends on how much time that you can space between getting that sticker in your passport and finalizing it at the immigration office in Mexico.
Okay. Perfect. Another question for you. Another question for you on that is, what's the price tag on that?
Ooh, man. I remember they swiped my card for the exact amount of $210 at the Mexican consulate here. And this is the crazy part. So when you get down to Mexico, you also have to pay additional fees, but you don't pay the immigration office directly. You actually have to go to a local bank and pay the bank, and the bank gives you like a receipt, and you take the receipt to the immigration office in Mexico proving that you paid these fees. So if you screw that up and you go to the immigration office expecting them to take your pesos, take your cash, they're going to be like, no, you have to go to a bank, and that delays your immigration or your residency process even further. So that's a super important point to highlight, is that you have to get that receipt from the bank that you paid and take it to the immigration office. Yeah. And this is why I highly recommend hiring someone to do the majority of this stuff for you, to where you just have to show up, go into the office, take your picture, and you walk out with your ID. So yeah, those services that do it for you, totally worth it. Even though it's a little bit more expensive than doing it yourself, obviously, I highly, highly recommend getting one of those services. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. This is great stuff. So this is great stuff right there, man. You know, so for people that are interested in becoming a Mexican resident, man, you better hit up Tripping with Jay, because that's some good information right there, man. Thanks so much, man. I really, really appreciate that. All right. So another question for you is, what was your greatest experience while traveling?
Ooh, that's a good one, man. That's a real good one. I gotta say Mexico, man. Like going to Mérida, Mexico, and just going out to a random bar scene. I went to Mercado 66 or 66, and I went by myself, right? I was dressed decent, went out to the bar, sat down at the bar, drinking, chilling, listening to live music, enjoying myself. And this group of, other foreigners, like from a few from the States, a few from New Zealand and Australia and the UK, they were staying at a hostel, and they just came over to me. They were like, hey, like, you look like you're obviously not from here. and they're like, "Hey, you want to come join us for a drink?" I was like, "Wait, this doesn't happen in the States. People like a group of random people doesn't just come invite you into their group to come drink." So I was like, "Man, you know what? I'm here by myself. I'm chilling. Why not? What else can really happen out here besides me just going back to my Airbnb?" So I went over, hung out with them, met a guy. He ended up working for he ended up being like a really high up tech guy, and we chopped it up, and we actually went out all together after the bar, and we just tore up that bar, man. We got shots, we got beers, we got food. Like we literally got probably like 5 or 6 shots a piece, and we were tore up that whole night, man. And that was just after like I had a breakup, before I went on that trip to Mexico, and that was like one of the best nights after my breakup ever, man. It was so much fun. I still talk to these guys till this day, and I had them added on Instagram and everything, man. These guys are so cool, and we still keep in touch to this day as well. I love Mexico, man.
Nice, man. Nice. Now these guys are expats, so they live in Mexico.
Yeah. So there was one that was down there short term. He went to Mexico City, but he has a place in California. And the other gentleman, he is a long-term resident, but I think he's back in Philly right now, back in the States.
Okay.
But those are my guys, man.
Nice, man. Nice. That's what's up, man. And it's good. It's good after a breakup. You get to hang out with the bros and get some drinks in, man. Blow off some steam, man.
True, man.
Yeah,
true.
Absolutely. So speaking of the ladies, what are your thoughts about the critics who are coming after the male travel community and saying that the guys are just traveling strictly for the woman? You got a lot of the panderers, or we call them panda bears, that are going after the travel community, passport bros, blue book gentlemen, passport kings, passport elite, whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Men who travel. What are your thoughts on the naysayers that are coming after the community? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so for us, I'm gonna take this from Dre from Love Crossing Borders. So the passport elite. Shout out to Dre. So for the passport elite gentlemen that go to a different country searching for love, the detractors and the haters, I believe in my mind is that they've never traveled themselves, and they're either stuck here, and can't leave, don't have a passport, or can't financially visit another country. That is, that definitely can't happen. But those people, they have to experience travel before they can speak about people who travel, in my opinion. So if they actually had the experiences that we're having as men here in the States going to different countries, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to have that light bulb moment. They're going to be like, oh, I get it. I understand. And for us being, more melanated, just like people like Kevin Samuels says, RIP KS, he says that Black men are universal, right? So we are universally attractive to multiple women of different countries. So wherever we go, they love us, man. They look at us like a alien specimen when we go to countries or different places that haven't seen people that look like us. Because I would watch, Austin Holloman's videos, and he went to like a remote village in the Philippines, and people in that village looked at him and his brother like super crazy because they were the only 2 Black people in that particular village they have seen in a long time. And he was still getting love. He was still getting, help from people. And it just goes to show you that they love us everywhere outside of the States, man. So to the haters and to the detractors that talk bad about the passport elite, I would just say, take a trip, experience it for yourself, experience the treatment that you receive outside of the States, and you'll come back with a different mindset that maybe the States isn't the best place to be for you. And then you may have the same mindset as some of us out here in the travel, the travel YouTube sphere. Yeah.
Man, well put, bro. Well put. Definitely. I think that the critics, the thing about it is I don't mind the woman talking. It's the men where it's just like, dude, you know how hard it is for us melanated men in the States, and it's like, you melanated too, and you really trying to come after us. You capping, you pandering, man. You pandering.
Yeah. They haven't experienced it themselves, man.
Right.
They haven't.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Definitely. Catch flights. Okay. So now going back into dating, right? So would you consider dating a woman outside of your race or culture and religion? And do you think that it's going to be a challenge for you?
I don't necessarily think it'll be a challenge for me, to be honest. I've actually already done it, of course. So my 3 to 4 past relationships, like serious relationships, have been with young ladies that are not of African descent, like not black. Right. Yeah. So my ex was Honduran and Filipino. The one before her was Puerto Rican and Dominican. And the one before her was full Filipino. And man, it just goes to show you that black men are loved everywhere, and everybody loves us, man. And you really have to kind of broaden yourself outside of your own community. Mm-hmm. I know I love my sisters, by the way. No disrespect, but I do get a lot more love from non-black women. And I know I'll probably get a little bit of hate for that, but that is just what I have experienced living here on the West Coast. Like, I'll have someone that is not black come meet me at a bar and try to buy me a drink. I'm like, what do you buy me a drink for? It's supposed to be the other way around. Right. But, but I do get shown more love from non-black women, and that ends up being who I date because they actually go for what they want. They're more marriage minded, to be honest with you. At least if you're looking for a woman here in the States, the people that are taught to be wives, they don't look like us, man. And it's so sad because I would love to really marry a black woman if I could. Mm-hmm. But the majority of them don't have the same mindset of, hey, I need to find a guy. It's always, I don't need a man, or it's an option. It sounds like an option, but in actuality, it's a need. Right. In my opinion. And I watch a lot of, Kevin Samuels content, and it has really awakened me to, like, I need to find someone that wants me more than I want them. And that's the only way that's going to work. And I need to identify certain traits in women that I can see in a wife, like someone that brings value to my life, someone that can identify the gaps and the holes in my everyday life and can fill those gaps. Like, if I go to the gym, she can have my protein shake ready. And when I come home from the gym, she can have a protein packed meal already ready for me. And those are the things that I look for in a potential wife. And I'm like, if you can do that, like, literally no other woman can do it. Right. And I really learned that from watching Kevin Samuels, watching Fresh and Fit, and all of those guys combined, man. And I really know what I want in a woman now. And it's so clear and apparent that the majority of men just don't know what they want and cannot identify what a wife is, even if they ran into them on the streets. Yeah. Boom.
Okay. Gotcha, man. Yeah. Definitely. I would say this, and in agreement with you, that there is I think that there's a certain air of arrogance and a willingness of not really wanting to compete.
Yeah.
And this is why, like, a lot of the ladies abroad, and there's so many of them that are so attractive that they all know that they have to compete. They make sure like that, that they're dressed feminine, and make sure that they put themselves out there so that they can be picked, because they know, like, Taylor Made Dream said this, and I actually clipped it, and where he said is he said you could throw a rock and hit 30 beautiful women, right? but it's it's funny, but it's actually true. It's actually true. I went to, so there's this mall in Cali, and it's called Chippy Chape Mall, and so in Colombia they have like different sections, and they call them like estradas, right? So 1 being the worst, 6 being the best. So Chippy Chape Mall, I believe it's like Estrada 5, and that's where my Airbnb in Cali is, and my apartment in Medellin is in Estrada 5 as well. But back to my story at in Cali. So the small Chippy Chape Mall. So there's this bar inside the mall. Dre and I, we're hanging out. A couple of couple of expats that live there. So we all hanging out at the bar. Man, I'm just telling you, it was, man. Like, listen, like every 30 seconds, you were just seeing so many beautiful women there, and it's like, man, wow.
Listen.
Wow.
I believe you, man. I didn't see enough videos, and I definitely believe you, man. Seriously.
Man, listen, like, dude. Yeah, man. I can't wait to be outside again, because once I'm outside, man, I'm telling you, like, the footage is coming, man. Shout out to my man Mark Daniels, Mark Inspiration. Definitely subscribe to this brother's channel. He definitely has good content. Great experience, author. He actually used to box. Now he has one of his sons who's boxing now. I believe his son, I can't remember. I think his son is like 14. I believe something, somewhere around that age or something like that. But yeah, and his son just actually got a knockout. So
wow.
Second round knockout. Yeah, so wow. Son is doing his thing, and he raised 6 out of the 10 kids by himself, man. So this guy's doing it, man. So salute to you, brother. So he says, unfortunately, a lot of women in our culture have been programmed to believe that serving a man is belittling and demeaning. What are your thoughts on that, Tripping with Jay?
Oh man, W comment. I'm in agreement. Right. It's the software, man. It's the software here. It's so different. And I mean, I haven't lost all hope in finding a woman here in the States, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And you have to really pull back and look. I'm like, hey, maybe I should look into love in a different country, because it's men. We live off of probability and not possibilities. Right. Is it possible to find a woman that is, programmed to serve us and make our lives easier? Yes, it is possible. But is it probable? Probably not. It's more probable overseas. And we see that much more often than we see people falling in love here with women that are feminine, fit, and friendly. And it's a sad reality, but it's reality, man. And we have to really react to what happens in reality.
No, absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with this statement. I think that one of the more challenging things you mentioned, like, it's like a needle in a haystack of needles. And I go back and forth with this, because some days I'm like, it's over. And then the other days I'm like, well, it's not necessarily over. But you remember years ago when the Patriots played the Atlanta Falcons and they were down 28-3?
Yeah.
but they ended up coming back winning. So it's like right now it's like 28-3. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm not a Patriots fan. I live in New England, but I'm not a Patriots fan. But I just made that reference up. But you get what I'm saying. Like it's that big of a challenge to overcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's rough. It's rough. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I do know quality women, but most of the quality women, and I've brought these women on my channel, but like a good 80 to 85% of them are married or engaged. So it's like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I get you, man. Seriously,
it's rough. Let's see what he says. Okay. You've been to Chippy Choppe? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Mark already knows what that talent's about at that mall.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Talent.
Absolutely. The scenery is lovely.
Oh man, I gotta go see it for myself, man. Seriously.
Yo, man, you gotta check out Cali, man. I'm telling you, Cali, Colombia, man. You gotta check it out.
Yeah. Do they have an airport, or do you just drive from another major city?
Well, what, to Cali? No. You fly there.
Okay. You fly right into it.
So, but the one thing, okay, so let me just kind of go back. So the one thing about Colombia, like all of the flights, like if you were to fly from Cartagena to Medellin, or Medellin to Bogota, or Bogota to Cali, or Cartagena to, basically what I'm saying is that you're on the flight maybe like 45 minutes.
Oh, so it's like Vegas to LA.
The flight is like about an hour, right? But you don't want to drive there, because like some of the roads are kind of bad and it'll take a very long time. So you want to get there really quickly. So like if say you ended up flying into Cartagena, you stay like, maybe a couple of days in Cartagena, you go to the beach. And I know that you said that you're a beach guy.
Yeah.
The only thing is that they're like, unless like another beach is Santa Marta. So you go to Santa Marta, but Cali is mainland. Medellin is mainland, and I believe Bogota is mainland.
Okay.
So if you're trying to catch the beach, Cartagena or Santa Marta, I feel like I'm missing one or two, but definitely Santa Marta and Cartagena.
Okay, man, that's a good recommendation. I gotta rewatch this and take notes.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. So if you're like, man, listen, I need to be by the beach, check out those two places. Bogota is it's like higher elevation, so it gets colder. So definitely like bring like a jacket or a hoodie or something,
Okay.
Medellin, they call that the city of eternal spring. So it's nice, like cool weather. And there's some nights, I would say maybe around like October, November-ish, where like you can have like a nice like thin jacket or like a hoodie or something like that. But it's not Bogota cold,
Okay. Do you happen to know any Spanish?
Yes.
Are you fluent?
Not 100% fluent, no, but okay. I do pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wish I was like Profe Don Omar or
Branjor.
I'm sorry?
Branjor. He's
fluent. Oh yeah. Well, Branjor is Panamanian, so
yeah.
So like so his first so that don't count. His first language is Spanish,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that don't count. I'm talking about no disrespect, Branjo, you my dude, but I'm talking about like African American.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican, so yeah, like there's man. Branjo got the cheat code, man. So,
oh man,
he's Panamanian, man. But yeah, and Medellin, very comfortable spring weather. Cali does get hot. Cali gets hot for sure. So yeah, okay. So Cali kind of reminds like the weather. Not maybe like Las Vegas in like September. Yeah, not Vegas in like July, August though. No, not that 120 degree. Nah, it's not, no, but it's like but it's like in the 90s, like 92, 93, or
Okay.
80 or 88. Around there. Yeah.
Yo, that's pretty decent weather. Okay, all right.
Yeah, for sure. So you'll like the weather there. Let's see what Mark says here. San Andreas is cool too. I've been there in Cartagena and Santa. Oh, yeah, Santa Marta. Yes. Okay, so thank you for reminding me. So Santa Marta, Cartagena, San Andreas. Yeah, beach.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and if you're looking and if you're looking for like also Quibdó is like an Afro-Colombian city. So
Ooh.
yeah, so check
What is
that
it called?
one out. Quibdó.
Quibdó. Okay, I gotta look that up. I've never heard of that city before. I gotta look it up because
Yeah, definitely check that out. Palenque, Colombia, and I think I mentioned this on our interview, but Palenque, Colombia is the first town of the free slaves and of all of the Americas. So yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm so interested in like the African heritage in Colombia, man, because I didn't know how deep it went until I watched.
Me too. And that was and that was one of the things where the Flyboy way, and when we went to Palenque, Colombia, we were finding out so many things about the Afro-Colombian culture, and then also with Tours by D. Tours by D, she lived in Houston, I think for like 20 years or so. So now she's actually Colombian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
people think she's American. She's actually Colombian though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, we everywhere, man.
There's a lot of melanin in Cali, Colombia too.
Okay. Yeah. And a lot of people don't even know that, man.
Yeah, it's like a Latin Atlanta. Except but you take out all of the alphabet community, whatever, I'm talking strictly with the ladies. You get me?
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Now, kind of, going back into what we were saying. Now, do you believe that the traditional woman is starting to die out worldwide, and how do you think that this is going to affect the world if it is starting to die out?
Yeah, so I do believe that the traditional woman is dying out, and so in my opinion, it is mainly the fault of social media. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook. Instagram is the biggest dating app on planet Earth, and that is ruining. It has ruined the U.S. so far, and it's spreading to the rest of the world. So we have to really, man, I don't want it to spread to the rest of the world, but it looks like it's happening, man. Even in like places like Thailand and in Mexico, it's happening to where, people are kind of losing their culture, losing what they were taught. And they're falling into that trap of, hey, I don't need a man. Hey, I can make my own money. I can make an OnlyFans. I can trick off of Instagram and make my money without a man. I don't need him. But in actuality, in order to have a fulfilling life, women derive their pleasure from having a family and having a companion. And we'll see the effects of social media and the impact of it, later on in life for sure. But right now we're living in an era where social media has just destroyed a lot of the Western world as far as dating goes, man. And I mean, you gotta use it in a very intelligent way. Social media is an extremely powerful tool when used the right way. But when you misuse it and you see all these women posting themselves, in scantily clad outfits on Instagram, I'm like, I don't want that as my wife. Would you want that as your wife? If you saw like your wife dressing all crazy on social media. I don't want that. I don't want to marry that. I don't want that woman to have my last name.
Right.
And it's just it's a losing game here in the States if you're not, making the 100K a year. You're not in that top percent. And that's why, like, I am trying to improve myself now as far as my financials, going to the gym more often, just trying to make myself rise up to that higher tier of man, to not only be attractive here in the States, but to be attractive worldwide. Because if I can attract a woman here in the States, I really don't have to leave. But the quality is diminishing here, and there's an abundance of quality outside of the States. So, I want to raise my value here, go to a different country, see if I can find something that is someone that is fine, feminine, and friendly, man. If I can find that, it's a wrap. I'm out of the States for good. I'm done.
Man, okay. No, I definitely feel you, man. I was watching. I don't know if you've seen this documentary, but the documentary is talking about the secrets of Playboy, and they had some of the women come back, and they were like they were trying to say disparaging things about Hugh Hefner. R.I.P. to Hugh Hefner, man.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner was the man. But no, for real. But anyway, like trying to say some disparaging things, and I was thinking about it, and I would not be surprised if 25 to 30 years from now we're watching a documentary about like what OnlyFans did, and somehow, some way, I can see that the men are gonna get blamed. I swear to you not. I swear, man. Like, you know what? I'm gonna keep a clip of this, and what's 30 years? I'll be like, I said this 30 years ago.
Hey, listen, I can only can you imagine if OnlyFans ended, like it just stopped, it just became illegal, and Kevin Samuels said something that was just stuck in my mind, man. He was like, when OnlyFans stops, Subway will be hiring.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like you please watch that documentary.
Okay.
I recommend everyone to watch that documentary. Men, women, like you could just see, like, man. Okay, so I'll tell you one part of it. Okay. So this one of the women, she ended up working for Playboy, and so she was going there. So she was going to the mansion as a minor. Her father worked there. Now, dude, why are you bringing a minor to the mansion? First of all, so now, I guess she's like 14 at the time or whatever, and so she ends up getting into a romantic relationship with one of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends, at the time,
Sheesh.
Right.
A minor, man.
Right. She doesn't say anything about this woman. She doesn't say anything disparaging about this woman, but tries to say disparaging things about Hugh Hefner. And it's like, yo, you were carrying on a romantic relationship with a grown adult. And we know if that was a male, they would have tried to throw this brother under the jail. But due to the fact that it's a woman, I'm telling you, watch that documentary, man. I'm just like, oh wow.
It's crazy, man.
Right. I'm like, man, you see the hypocrisy, man. You see the hypocrisy, bro. All right. Yeah, man. So we have hit the 1 hour mark. And so my last question for you, brother. What's next for you, man? What's next for you? Any collabs, trips?
Yes. So what's next for me is I have a goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by probably June or July.
Oh, wow. That's an impressive goal.
Yeah, man. I'm pumping out content, and I'm trying to add as much value as possible and try to make it as attractive for people to subscribe. But it's not just all about subscriber count for me. It's also about view count. So I definitely want to hit that 10K mark and also get a million total views on my entire channel. So there's that. I want to do that immediately. But I want to do some collabs as well. So I will be in Mexico coming up in May/June, and also in July. I bought like an unlimited flying pass with Frontier, and they have a direct flight to Mexico. So I will be in Mexico almost every other weekend or every weekend. So I want to collab with a couple of YouTubers that are out there, and in I believe November, either mid or late November, I'll be actually in Thailand. So I want to collab with, you know, the bigger YouTubers like Zoom to Thailand, Travelversity, Chocolate Man in Thailand, Keys One. I want to collab with those bigger YouTubers, and if I want to meet them as well. You know, have a drink with them, chill, kick it, and I think we got another. I think we have our very own KND maybe out there as well. So I definitely want to meet all these guys in person, collab and chill and kick it to actually meet these guys in person, to just get a vibe from you guys, to see how you guys are as a real human outside of this YouTube space. So yeah, that's what's next for me, man. Just keep traveling. I'm going to start doing vlogs as well. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy year ahead, man. Hopefully I blow past that 10K sub mark, and you guys will be seeing a lot more of me on other people's channels as well.
Absolutely, man. And you know, you and I, we were talking behind the scenes, and you mentioned that like you've been to 6 out of 7 continents.
Yeah.
And which continent is that? The one that that you haven't been to, and the one that you want to go to?
Yes. So it is the continent of Africa, the continent. So it's been on my list, man. And honestly, the majority of my videos on my channel are about traveling to Africa. So I'm just trying to gather as much knowledge as possible about the continent, where I want to go, because I want to take a month off from my day job and just go to Africa, you know. Oh, got the channel pulled up. Okay. So yeah, like, you know, Lagos, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, Rwanda. I want to go to all of these places, man, and just show it on my YouTube channel to just show people that Africa isn't dangerous. It's not a third world country or a third world continent as everybody thinks it is. You know, there are some dangerous spots just like any other continent, but a large majority of the entire continent is freely able to be traveled to. So I want to display that and put that on show for everybody to see, because the majority of my subscribers are from Africa. So yeah, I want to put them on, man, you know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I definitely want you all to subscribe to Tripping with Jay. And so let's check out this quick video really quick before we do drop off and wrap up here. And this is a video of why to visit Africa, man. So let's check this one out.
All right. Africa is a continent unlike any other, offering a wealth of experiences and adventures for travelers seeking something truly unique. One of the biggest draws of Africa is its incredible wildlife, from the big five to lesser known species. Seeing these animals in their natural habitat is a truly unforgettable experience. But Africa is not just about the wildlife. It also has a rich cultural heritage. The continent is home to a diverse range of peoples and traditions, each with their own unique customs and history. This diversity is reflected in the continent's music and dance, which can be a highlight of any trip to Africa. And the food is not to be missed either. From fragrant stews to spicy curries, African cuisine is flavorful and unique. For those seeking adventure, Africa has plenty to offer as well. Whether it's climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, white water rafting down the Zambezi River, or trekking through the jungle, there's no shortage of thrilling experiences to be had. And the history buffs will find plenty to explore as well, from the pyramids of Egypt to the ancient ruins of Zimbabwe. Africa has a rich and fascinating history. And let's not forget about the beaches. Africa is home to some of the most stunning coastlines in the world, with crystal clear waters and soft white sand. But what really sets Africa apart is the warmth and hospitality of its people. Whether it's sharing a meal with a local family or chatting with a vendor at a market, the people of Africa are welcoming and friendly. So if you're looking for a unique and unforgettable travel experience, consider visiting Africa. From its wildlife to its culture, its history to its adventures, Africa has something for everyone. And you're sure to come away from your trip with memories that will last a lifetime. Africa.
I see that you got. I see that you show the ladies with the melanin popping at the end.
Of course.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. So,
Yes.
so when is your plan to go to Africa? When is that?
So I plan to go next year in 2024 for my 35th birthday.
Oh
And
man,
man,
when is that?
April 3rd, man. It's coming up on my 34th in next week. Yeah, I think, man, next week I have no plans, but yeah, I'm planning to do that month-long thing in Africa next year. You know, I'm gonna save up my PTO and tell my bosses, peace out. Y'all not gonna see me until May. I'm going to Africa, and I may not come back like Dave Chappelle. But
hey, man, you know he came back and got 60 M's, man. So right.
Hey, I might do the same. I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, listen, you know, set it on my channel, man. Oh man, listen. All I need is 1%, dog. That's all I need, man.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, shout out to Global Passport Crew in the building. Says salute. What's going on, man? What's going on with you, man? Let's see here. Carl Lang says, how's it going, fam? Definitely, man. Salute.
Johannesburg
is in the house. Shout out to Johannesburg, man. Shout out to Johannesburg. You know, you mentioned so you mentioned going to the motherland. Definitely, man. What kind of threw my traveling off, and I actually said this yesterday, but I'll mention it again. What kind of threw my traveling off is, so my son he played in the indoor football this fall/winter. So last year he just played outdoor. So like December, January, and February, you know, I was traveling. So I have to make some adjustments. So from late August to the last Saturday of October, or like the first Saturday in November, that's the outdoor football season. The indoor football season starts December and then ends at the end of February, the first week of March. So what I have to do now is I have April, May, June, July, the beginning of August to travel. Then I have a pocket of traveling in November, and Tripping with Jay kind of let it slip out, but I'm gonna let you all know. I was supposed to plan for Songkran, not gonna be able to make it. I was really excited to go. One of the reasons why I can't make it, I have a family member that's sick, so I gotta attend to that.
Yeah.
But November, your boy is in the building for Thailand, and yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Hey, can you explain what Songkran is for the people that may not know?
Oh yes. So for Songkran, it is actually the New Year for Thailand, and so what people do is they celebrate really having fun, throwing water on each other. A bunch of people get water guns and stuff like that, water hoses, kind of just spray each other. And it's really, really hot out there, so a lot of people don't mind. And it's family friendly because you have adults, you have small children. Now again, there's some places on the Walker Street. I guess the later it is, the more adultish it gets. Let's use our mind, people. But throughout the day, early in the day, you have kids and adults just spraying each other with water, and it's really a fun time, really just to celebrate. I really, really wish that I could have made Songkran. I will try to get to Songkran next year. That's my plan. But November, Thailand, Philippines, your boy Kings and Dreams is in the building. For sure. I'm not letting that slide, man. I'm not letting that slide. Listen, I love my son and coach the football team, all that, but listen, dad needs to get out too, man. Get out too. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So let everybody know your final thoughts on the conversation, and then let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah. So I think the conversation was amazing, man. So listen, you guys better be subscribed to Kings and Dreams. And once you subscribe to Kings and Dreams, use that link right there that's just posted there to come subscribe to my channel as well. We had a great conversation. We had a very balanced conversation. We talked about modern dating. We talked about travel. We talked about just how we are in real life, man, because this YouTube stuff is cool and everything, but to actually connect outside of YouTube with people that are like-minded, like Kings and Dreams, it's a beautiful thing, man. We need to start working together as a collective because there's enough for all of us to eat out here. And we need to start doing that. We need to start sharing each other's resources. We need to start, brainstorming and helping each other out as content creators. But you guys can find me at Tripping with Jay with that link down there below. Again, my channel focuses mainly on travel and doing reaction videos to YouTubers that travel and exposes people to new countries, new experiences, new content creators they may have never heard of before. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and you guys will like a lot of my content, and we have some vlogs coming as well. So don't sleep. I'm trying to hit that 10K sub mark by the middle of the year. So if you guys can help out and subscribe, it'll be very much appreciated. Thank you.
All right. Yes, we definitely had a balanced conversation. Shout out to Backpack Grizzly. Backpack Grizzly just came back from Colombia not too long ago. Medellin, actually. So shout out to you, Backpack Grizzly. We are wrapping up here. Carl Lang said, "Did I miss the party?" Yes, man. you're gonna have to catch the replay, man.
Yeah, you gotta catch the replay, Carl.
Man.
Shout out to you though.
Hold on. Okay. Global Passport Crew just subscribed. You just subscribed to him or me? Or you better be subscribed to both, man. Better be subscribed to both, man.
Hey, let's go with both.
Yeah, right. Man, listen, definitely thank you for coming through. Great conversation. Truly appreciate you. Okay, he said I'm subscribed to both. Okay. Yeah, man, definitely shout out to you, Global Passport Crew. Man, hit me up on Instagram because I definitely want to do a collaboration with you, man. So let's work. But yeah, man, I appreciate all of you all for tuning in. For those who missed it, definitely catch the replay. Got a lot of excellent information about getting residency in Mexico. So it's always good to learn something about traveling, the culture. And I believe that once you are educated and learning all of that stuff about a country, you get to know the ladies as well. And I believe that the women are a byproduct of that. You know what I mean? So, just, elevate, don't hesitate, get your passport, stay purposeful. It's on the table. I am out. Oh, passport's up. Salute, man. Salute.
Let's get it. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.